The movie begins by introducing us to a young man named Sam, who is embarking on a journey with his colleagues, including his friends and his closest friend, Molly. Molly and Sam had been separated for some time due to certain circumstances. They are all traveling together on a bus. Inside the bus, a video for 180 Corporate Consulting is playing. As they drive, a truck passes by, which viewers might recognize from a previous installment. The bus then approaches a bridge that is currently under construction. As they begin to cross, Sam starts to feel a strong sense of unease, a premonition that something terrible is about to happen. Suddenly, the bus brakes abruptly, and Sam's thumb gets hurt. At the same moment, the bus's radio inexplicably turns on, and the song "Dust in the Wind" by Kansas begins to play. For Sam, this song is a chilling clue, a sign that their demise will somehow involve the wind. He instinctively feels that the wind will cause the unstable bridge to collapse, leading to their deaths. However, no one else on the bus understands his growing fear. Just as Sam's anxiety peaks, the bridge begins to fall apart. Panic erupts as everyone rushes to escape the collapsing structure. Tragically, a female colleague of Sam's doesn't make it and perishes. Another colleague remains trapped on the bus as it plunges into the water, also losing his life. Amidst the chaos, Sam desperately tries to save Molly, and he manages to get her safely to the other side of the broken bridge. He then notices another female colleague in need of help, and goes back to assist her. Unfortunately, this woman has poor eyesight without her glasses, and disoriented, falls off the bridge into the water below. Though she initially survives the fall, a car then plummets from the bridge and crushes her instantly. Their boss and a man named Nathan are also running for their lives. In a horrifying moment, a loose wire whips through the air and violently throws Nathan to his death. The boss finds himself hanging precariously from a section of the bridge. Just when it seems he might hold on, a torrent of hot tar falls on him, sealing his fate. The entire bridge soon collapses completely. Sam and a man named Peter find themselves clinging to a railing, desperately trying to climb to safety. At the edge of the destroyed bridge, a truck appears suddenly. As it turns, numerous metal rods jut out from its side, impaling Peter and killing him instantly. Sam continues to climb, but he too reaches his limit and falls, meeting a gruesome end. Abruptly, Sam snaps back to reality, gasping for breath. He is in shock and terror at the vivid and horrific vision he just experienced. The bus brakes suddenly, and just as in his premonition, his thumb is hurt. The bus's radio flicks on by itself, and the same haunting song, "Dust in the Wind," fills the air. Sam is now convinced that he has seen a glimpse of the future. Overwhelmed, he starts screaming that the bridge is going to collapse, but no one believes him. Determined to act, Sam pulls Molly off the bus, and their urgency compels everyone else to follow. Moments after they evacuate, Sam's terrifying vision begins to come true as the bridge starts to break apart. Thanks to Sam's warning, they have narrowly escaped death. The survivors watch in disbelief and fear as the bridge crumbles. Many questions race through their minds about how Sam could have known what was going to happen. Consequently, an agent arrives and takes Sam away for questioning, suspecting him of being a terrorist. However, lacking any evidence, the agent is forced to release him, the official explanation for the bridge collapse being attributed to high winds. Sam is not held responsible and is freed. Later, the survivors gather at a memorial for the workers who were lost. There, they encounter William, a mysterious figure who informs them that death doesn't appreciate being cheated. We learn that Sam is a chef, and he had been considering a transfer to a new branch of the restaurant in Paris, a move that had caused a rift between him and Molly, who didn't want him to leave. Meanwhile, a friend of Peter's is at the gym, engaged in her regular gymnastics practice. Peter watches her from the audience as she performs her routine with energy and enthusiasm, seemingly enjoying it like a game. She attempts a flip, but something goes terribly wrong, and she falls, breaking her spine and dying instantly in front of a horrified Peter. The atmosphere in their office is somber due to their friend's tragic death. No one is really working. Peter is particularly distraught in his office. Later, they all gather, drinking and mourning. One of their colleagues is absent. He has secretly acquired a ticket for a spa treatment and has gone without telling anyone. Another colleague, a woman, has a doctor's appointment and leaves to attend it. As she walks, a framed picture falls from her bag, a picture of herself and the glass shatters. Peter tries to relax, but the image of his friend's death keeps flashing in his mind, causing him to panic. Their boss is secretly observing their behavior and reporting everything to the agent. Their colleague arrives at the spa and is just finishing the last few steps of his massage. The masseuse tells him to relax for 30 minutes as needles are inserted into his body. After she leaves the room, a nearby towel catches fire. He screams for help, but no one comes. He tries to get up from the massage table, but falls to the floor, knocking over a bottle of alcohol. The spilled liquid causes all the needles to be driven deeper into his body. Despite the excruciating pain, he manages to crawl towards the door. Just then, his phone rings. The vibration causes a candle to fall over, and the entire floor ignites. Miraculously, the fire doesn't directly harm him, and he manages to escape. However, as he flees, a large Buddha statue falls from above, crushing him to death. Sam and Molly are together in an office, and he asks her to go to Paris with him. They reconcile, their relationship rekindled. Peter then arrives, distraught, and tells them about their friend's death at the spa. They decide to go to the spa, and there they encounter William again. Sam has a growing suspicion that William is following them. Finally, he confronts William and asks why he keeps appearing wherever they are. William calmly explains that it is his work to be present at the places where death occurs. Sam then presses him for answers about their current predicament. William proceeds to explain the pattern and the plan of death, recounting the events they have witnessed, echoing the tragedies from previous incidents. They grasp the horrifying truth. If they were to cause someone else's death, that person would take their place on death's list, effectively granting them the life of the person who was meant to die, while the killed person would take their destined demise. However, the moral implications of sacrificing an innocent life to save themselves are deeply troubling. Sam realizes that according to the pattern, everyone who survived the bridge collapse is still marked for death, except for Molly, as she was the sole intended survivor who wasn't supposed to die then. Hearing this, Peter becomes agitated and angry that his friend is dead, while Molly is seemingly exempt. He storms off. The remaining survivors now understand the pattern of death, except for their female colleague who had gone to the doctor. They hurry to tell her everything. She is undergoing laser eye surgery because of her vision problems. The doctor has prepared the equipment. The woman is visibly nervous, clutching a teddy bear tightly. One of the teddy bear's eyes falls onto the floor. Just as the doctor is about to begin the procedure, he realizes that her file is incomplete and leaves the room to retrieve it, leaving her alone with the operating laser. While he is gone, the laser machine malfunctions and starts to short circuit. The power of the laser begins to intensify steadily, making the woman increasingly anxious. She frantically tries to turn off the laser with its remote, but the remote slips from her grasp and falls to the floor, accidentally activating the start button. The laser activates, burning one of her eyes. When the laser moves towards her other eye, she instinctively raises her hand, partially shielding it, but also likely injuring it. Before the laser can cause further damage, she manages to get off the machine. Sam and Molly arrive at that moment. However, before they can reach her, she steps on the fallen teddy bear's eye, loses her balance, and falls out of the window, landing on a parked car below and dying instantly. Her eye is gruesomely dislodged. The agent reappears and begins questioning Sam once again. Sam recounts the unbelievable truth about death's design, but no one can bring themselves to believe his outlandish claims. Nathan is the next person whose life is in danger. He is at work when he gets into an argument with another worker. Nathan knows, from his own premonition perhaps, that a heavy hook is about to fall and kill him. In a chilling attempt to cheat death, he shoves the other worker directly under the falling hook, and the man is crushed to death. It appears to be a tragic accident, and no one suspects Nathan's deliberate act. Peter confides in his boss, revealing everything he knows about death's pattern. However, the boss dismisses his claims as absurd and informs the agent about Peter's strange behavior. They all go to find Nathan, who is still at the scene where the other worker died. There, Peter confronts Nathan, asking him point blank if it was truly an accident or if he intentionally killed the man to evade his own death. Nathan confesses that he murdered the worker. They realize that if their theory is correct, their boss might be next, as he was also a survivor of the bridge collapse. Just as their boss arrives at the scene, a wrench flies through the air and strikes him in the face with fatal force. This confirms their horrifying theory. To save themselves, they can indeed sacrifice someone else. That night, Sam and Molly are at a restaurant for dinner. Unbeknownst to them, the agent who had been investigating Sam is also present, watching them discreetly. As they are eating, Peter arrives, acting erratically and desperately. He knows he is next and is looking for someone to kill to take his place. Since Sam had said that Molly was not on death's list, Peter sees her as the ideal victim. He pulls out a gun, intending to kill Molly, but Sam intervenes to protect her. The agent, hearing the commotion, also moves in. Sam and Molly manage to escape to the kitchen, with Peter close behind. Peter attacks Sam, knocking him unconscious. He then begins searching for Molly. He doesn't kill Sam, perhaps realizing it wouldn't change his own impending fate. Molly is hiding from Peter when the agent enters the kitchen. Without hesitation, Peter shoots and kills the agent, believing that by taking the agent's life, he has cheated death and can now survive. However, he still intends to kill Molly, fueled by his grief over his friend's death. But before he can harm her, Sam, having regained consciousness, manages to kill Peter. The unsettling implication here is that Peter had taken the agent's life by killing him. And when Sam killed Peter, that extended life somehow transferred to Sam. It appears Sam will no longer die. Overjoyed at their apparent escape from death's grasp, Sam and Molly make plans to live their lives happily in Paris. 2 weeks later, they are on a flight to Paris. Sam notices 2 young boys fighting on the plane. These are Alex and Carter, characters familiar from the first film, revealing that this story takes place before the events of that movie. As the plane takes off, Sam is listening to music when the same haunting song that played during the bridge collapse, Dust in the Wind, starts playing again. As his thumb brushes against the seat, it gets cut, and he is instantly overcome with a sense of dread. Sam knows that they are all going to die, that their fate is inescapable. He thinks about this ominous sign, and his terrifying premonition from the bus begins to replay in his mind. Suddenly, the plane experiences violent turbulence. A piece of luggage falls from an overhead compartment, striking Sam and killing him in a gruesome manner, mirroring his death in his vision. The question arises, if Nathan could survive by killing someone, why couldn't Sam? He killed Peter, who had seemingly taken the agent's life. However, the grim reality is that the agent only had 1 life to take. Therefore, Sam's attempt to cheat death ultimately fails. The final scene shows Nathan at a memorial for the worker he killed. There, another worker tells him that the man he murdered had a terminal brain tumor and only had a few days left to live anyway. As the worker speaks, the landing gear of Flight 180 falls, crushing Nathan to death, fulfilling his original destined demise. The film concludes, leaving the audience with a chilling understanding of the intricate and inescapable master plan of death. If you enjoyed this explanation, please consider subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and sharing it with your friends.